13th century, the Mongol Empire expanded with a speed and force that the world had never seen. Cities that had flourished for centuries fell in days. Kingdoms that once shaped history collapsed almost without resistance. To many, the Mongols looked less like an army and more like an approaching natural disaster. But in 1260, their momentum finally met resistance in a narrow green valley in Palestine, a place called Ain Jalut. This is the story of how an unexpected force stopped the greatest conquerors of the age. Long before the Mongols reached the borders of Egypt, a unique military society had already taken shape there, the Mamluks. These were not aristocrats, not hereditary rulers, not men born into power. Most began life as young captives brought from the Eurasian steppes, placed into harsh training schools, and forged into elite cavalry. Their entire identity was shaped around three things: discipline, loyalty, and the mastery of the battlefield. Over time, their strength eclipsed that of their masters. By the mid-1200s, the Mamluks had taken control of Egypt itself, forming a state built on military skill and unbreakable internal unity. Their rise came at the very moment the Middle East faced its greatest threat. Under Hulagu Khan, the Mongol Empire had torn through Persia, then Iraq. The fall of Baghdad in 1258 sent shockwaves through the entire Islamic world. A city of million souls, the seat of the caliphate, reduced to ash and silence in days. Not long after, Aleppo was crushed. Damascus, Dimashq, bowed to Mongol authority. No major power stood between the invaders and Egypt. For many, the collapse of the entire region seemed inevitable. Then, unexpectedly, Mongol politics shifted. The death of the great Khan, far away on the Mongolian steppe, sent tremors through the empire's chain of command. Hulagu was forced to withdraw the bulk of his army east, back to the steppe, back to the politics of succession. He left behind a smaller but battle-hardened force in Syria, led by Kitbuqa, a commander of fearsome reputation, known for his boldness and his absolute refusal to retreat. For the first time in years, the Mongols were vulnerable, and the Mamluks saw it. Sultan Qutuz made a decision that would define an era. Instead of waiting behind Egypt's borders of the inevitable, he would meet the Mongols head-on. He forged an alliance with Baybars, a brilliant tactician, a former slave turned general, a man who had studied the Mongols closely and understood precisely where they could be broken. Together, they marched north into Palestine, toward a valley chosen not by chance, but by cold, calculated strategy. A valley where the terrain itself would become a weapon. That valley was Ain Jalut, the spring of Goliath. At dawn on the 3rd of September, 1260, Baybars opened the battle. Fast, precise, deliberate. He struck hard enough to provoke, but never enough to fully commit. Then, following the plan, he began to withdraw, gradually, deliberately, drawing the Mongols deeper and deeper into to the narrowing valley. A man who had never seen an enemy that did not eventually break read this exactly as Baybars intended. He saw a retreat. He ordered a full pursuit. The moment the Mongols committed fully, the valley transformed. Hidden Mamluk units surged from the hillside above. Arrows rained down in the dense black waves. Heavy cavalry slammed into the Mongols' flanks. From both sides, simultaneously, the valley that had looked open from a distance became a cage, stripping the Mongols of their greatest military advantage, freedom of movement. The open ground, the endless horizon. For the first time in decades, a Mongol army was fighting a battle entirely on someone else's terms. As the chaos reached its peak, Sultan Qutuz himself rode into the heart of the fighting, not watching from a distance, leading from the front, rallying his soldiers with his own presence and his own sword. The Mamluk line surged forward as one. The Mongol formation cracked, then shattered. Kitbuqa, the fearless, the undefeated, was surrounded. He was killed. By midday, the Mongol force in Syria had ceased to exist. Not retreated, not regrouped, ceased to exist. Ain Jalut did more than defeat an army. It halted a wave that had swept across continents, a wave that had drawn Baghdad, silenced Persia, and bent Damascus to its will. It safeguarded Egypt. It protected the holy cities, Mecca and Medina. It prevented the Mongols from reshaping the entire civilizational map of the world. But most powerfully of all, it proved something that no one alive at that moment had dared to imagine. The Mongols could be stopped. A single valley in Palestine on a September morning in 1260 became the turning point where strategy, courage, and timing rewrote the fate of an empire and preserved the heart of a civilization.
Azı bu sonunda yılbarım